Always stop to check on the well-being of others involved in an accident, even if it's not your fault. File a police report to document the incident and gather official information. Try to obtain names, contact details, and license plate numbers of any witnesses at the scene. Take photos and videos of the damage and surrounding area. If possible, note the traffic light sequence and road conditions. Different insurance companies have varying protocols for resolving fault in accidents with no witnesses. Some may consider comparative fault based on factors such as damage severity and driver statements. If possible, hire an accident reconstructionist or private investigator to provide an expert opinion on the likely sequence of events. Continue to actively search for witnesses through local media outlets, social media, and community forums. Instruct drivers to always stop and help after accidents and to report them to the police. Install vehicle cameras to provide video evidence in case of accidents. Train drivers on defensive driving techniques to minimize the risk of accidents. It's frustrating when fault cannot be clearly established. However, it's important to remember that even in the absence of witnesses, there are steps you can take to protect yourself. By following the advice provided, you can increase your chances of receiving fair compensation for damages and avoiding unnecessary financial burdens. Remember that the goal of reporting accidents is not only to assign blame but also to ensure that all parties involved receive the necessary assistance and that the incident is documented for future reference. When involved in a motor vehicle accident, certain actions can significantly impact the outcome, especially when there are no independent witnesses. Here's a breakdown of essential steps and considerations. Firstly, immediately after an accident, prioritize safety. Check yourself and others for injuries. If anyone is hurt, call for medical assistance immediately. Even if injuries seem minor, it's crucial to get checked out by a medical professional, as some injuries may not be immediately apparent. Secondly, assess the scene. If possible and safe to do so, move vehicles out of the flow of traffic to prevent further accidents. Turn on hazard lights to alert other drivers. If the accident involves significant damage or injuries, or if vehicles cannot be safely moved, wait for law enforcement to arrive and direct traffic. Thirdly, document everything. Use your smartphone or camera to take photos and videos of the accident scene. Capture images of vehicle damage from various angles, road conditions, traffic signals, and any other relevant details. These photos can be invaluable evidence when dealing with insurance companies or in legal proceedings. Fourthly, exchange information. Obtain the other driver's name, address, phone number, insurance information, and driver's license details. Provide your information to the other driver as well. It's also helpful to note the make, model, and license plate number of the other vehicle. Fifthly, report the accident. Depending on the severity of the accident and local regulations, you may be required to report the accident to the police. Even if not legally required, filing a police report is often a good idea. A police report provides an official record of the accident, which can be beneficial when dealing with insurance claims. The police will gather information from both drivers and assess the scene, which can help establish fault. Sixthly, notify your insurance company. Contact your insurance company as soon as possible after the accident. Provide them with all the details of the accident, including the police report number, photos, and the other driver's information. Be honest and accurate when describing the events of the accident. Your insurance company will guide you through the claims process and explain your coverage options. Now, let's consider the situation where there are no witnesses. In such cases, determining fault can be challenging, as this often comes down to each driver's account of the events. However, even without witnesses, there are several factors that insurance companies and legal professionals may consider when assessing liability. Firstly, the police report. Even if there were no witnesses at the scene, the police report can still be valuable. The investigating officer will document the scene, gather information from both drivers, and may offer an opinion on how the accident occurred. While the officer's opinion is not necessarily definitive, it can carry weight in determining fault. Secondly, physical evidence. Physical evidence at the scene, such as vehicle damage, skid marks, and debris, can provide clues about the sequence of events leading up to the accident. Accident reconstruction experts can analyze this evidence to determine factors such as vehicle speeds, angles of impact, and points of collision. This analysis can help establish which driver was at fault. Thirdly, insurance company policies. Different insurance companies may have different protocols for resolving fault in accidents with no witnesses. Some companies may rely solely on the driver's statements and the police report, while others may conduct a more thorough investigation, including interviewing independent experts or reviewing traffic camera footage. Some insurance companies may use a comparative fault system, where each driver is assigned a percentage of fault based on their contribution to the accident. In such cases, even if you are partially at fault, you may still be able to recover some damages from the other driver's insurance company. Fourthly, independent investigation. If you believe that the other driver was at fault and your insurance company is not adequately pursuing your claim, you may consider hiring an independent accident reconstructionist or a private investigator to gather additional evidence. These professionals can conduct a more in-depth investigation of the accident scene, interview potential witnesses, and analyze vehicle data recorders to determine the cause of the accident. Their expert opinion can be used to support your claim and negotiate a settlement with the insurance company. Fifthly, witness search. Even if there were no witnesses at the scene, it's possible that someone saw the accident but did not stop to provide their information. Consider placing an ad in local newspapers or online forums describing the accident and asking for anyone who may have witnessed it to come forward. You can also post flyers in the area where the accident occurred, or ask local businesses if they have any security camera footage that may have captured the accident. Now let's discuss tips for contractors with vehicles on the road. Firstly, educate drivers. Ensure that all drivers employed by your company are thoroughly trained on safe driving practices and traffic laws. Emphasize the importance of defensive driving techniques, such as maintaining a safe following distance, being aware of surroundings, and anticipating potential hazards. Also, instruct drivers to always stop and help after accidents, and to report them to the police, regardless of fault. Secondly, consider camera systems. Installing vehicle cameras in your company vehicles can provide valuable video evidence in case of accidents. These cameras can record both the road ahead and the inside of the vehicle, providing a comprehensive view of the events leading up to an accident. Camera footage can be used to establish fault, protect your company from liability, and train drivers on safe driving practices. Thirdly, emphasize defensive driving. Defensive driving involves anticipating potential hazards and taking proactive steps to avoid accidents. Train drivers to scan the road ahead, check their mirrors frequently, and be aware of the vehicles around them. Teach them to adjust their speed and following distance based on road conditions, weather, and traffic. Encourage drivers to avoid distractions such as cell phones and eating while driving. Fourthly, regular vehicle maintenance. Ensure that all company vehicles are properly maintained and in good working condition. Regularly inspect brakes, tires, lights, and other safety equipment. Address any maintenance issues promptly to prevent accidents caused by vehicle malfunctions. Fifthly, insurance coverage. Review your company's insurance coverage to ensure that you have adequate protection in case of accidents. Consider increasing your liability coverage to protect your company from potential lawsuits. Also, ensure that your insurance policy covers all drivers and vehicles used for business purposes. Sixthly, accident reporting procedures. Establish clear accident reporting procedures for your drivers to follow in case of an accident. Provide them with a checklist of steps to take at the scene, including contacting the police, exchanging information with the other driver, and documenting the accident. Also, require drivers to report any accidents to you immediately, regardless of severity. Now, let's consider the scenario where fault cannot be clearly established. In such cases, it's important to remain calm and rational. Remember that the goal of reporting accidents is not only to assign blame, but also to ensure that all parties involved receive the necessary assistance and that the incident is documented for future reference. Even if you believe that the other driver was at fault, it's important to avoid confrontation and let the insurance companies and legal professionals handle the investigation. By following the advice provided, you can increase your chances of receiving fair compensation for damages and avoiding unnecessary financial burdens. Firstly, gather all relevant documents. Collect all documents related to the accident, including the police report, insurance information, medical records, repair estimates, and any other relevant paperwork. Organize these documents in a file or binder for easy access. Secondly, consult with an attorney. If you have been seriously injured or if the insurance company is denying your claim, it's advisable to consult with an attorney who specializes in personal injury or accident law. An attorney can review your case, advise you on your legal options, and represent you in negotiations with the insurance company or in court. Thirdly, negotiate with the insurance company. If the insurance company is offering a settlement that you believe is too low, you can negotiate with them to try to reach a fairer agreement. Be prepared to provide evidence to support your claim, such as medical records, repair estimates, and expert opinions. If you are unable to reach a settlement through negotiation, you may need to file a lawsuit to pursue your claim. Fourthly, file a lawsuit. If you are unable to reach a settlement with the insurance company, you may need to file a lawsuit to pursue your claim. A lawsuit is a legal action filed in court to seek damages for your injuries and losses. The lawsuit will involve gathering evidence, conducting depositions, and presenting your case to a judge or jury. Fifthly, be patient. Dealing with the aftermath of an accident can be a long and frustrating process. It's important to be patient and persistent in pursuing your claim. Keep track of all communication with the insurance company and document all expenses related to the accident. By following these steps and seeking professional advice when needed, you can protect your rights and increase your chances of a favorable outcome. Remember, even in the absence of witnesses, there are steps you can take to protect yourself and seek justice.